What's up guys, Jake here, bringing another leg day video to you today, and we're gonna start off with hip thrusts. One of the reasons is because I think so many people nowadays, just because of our lifestyles, we're always sitting, we're so hip flexor and quad dominant. So one exercise that I do like to do to just kind of prime my posterior chain, get my glutes and my hamstrings firing, is hip thrusts. The main reason is because it takes most of the quads out of the equation and really allows you to get those muscles active. So we're going to start with this, then we're going to move on to some other compound exercises before we finish up with some lighter isolated movements. So let's go. All right, so next up is deadlifts. As always, you just want to make sure to remember that this is a hip hinging movement, not a squatting movement. So everything is done at the hips. As you pick the weight up, as you bring it back down, it's all about pushing your hips towards the back wall rather than squatting. And so if you can make sure you do that, you'll probably notice a lot less tension on your back and you'll be able to perform the movement a lot more efficiently. All right, so following up on those two big compound exercises, we're gonna move on to something a little more isolated, the yoga ball hamstring curl. Now don't get me wrong, this exercise may look easy, but it is very challenging and it will light your hamstrings up if you're not used to doing it. So I'm gonna walk you through how to properly perform this movement so you can get the most out of it. All right, so one of the most important things to pay attention to when you're doing this movement is keeping your glutes engaged. You're not gonna get as much out of this exercise if you have a bend at the hips. You wanna start by elevating those hips so they're off the ground. You wanna engage those glutes. I call it the Nacho Libre. So you really wanna keep those hips forward, and as you pull that ball towards your body with your heels, maintain that activation in your glutes and then drive your feet through the ball once you get to the top of the movement. Really focus on lighting those hamstrings and the glutes up before slowly lowering your body back down to the starting position. All right, now we don't want to leave here without getting any sort of quad exercise in, so we're gonna finish up with pistol squats. This is gonna be a nice little burnout for the quads, and your glutes and hamstrings are probably gonna feel a little bit as well, just because we have been targeting those and isolating those almost the entire workout. So all you're gonna need is a TRX band, or if you don't have access to that and you don't have a whole lot of stabilization, you could just use a pole that's in your gym or in your house or whatever. So I'm gonna show you how to properly do this movement, and then we're gonna finish up. You don't wanna rely 100% on the bands to help lower you down and get yourself up. They should really be used more as just a way to stabilize yourself and keep yourself from falling over. But you really wanna focus on using your own strength to lift yourself up. And always remember this, the same principles apply with these as a traditional squat. So keep that core tight, drop those hips back, and it's okay to allow that knee to track a little bit over your toe. Unlike the deadlift, this is not a hip hinging movement, so just focus on performing it as you would a normal squat, and then using the bands to stabilize yourself as you're pulling yourself up.